O vídeo de hoje é o seguinte, ó. Eu tentei ser pai por 30 dias.
This video is sponsored by Squarespace. I'll talk more about them later.
So it's been said that being a parent is the most difficult job in the world. Really?
All I ever hear from parents is, oh, you're tired now? Wait until you have kids. Oh, you want to be a minimalist? Try that with kids. Oh, you think you're busy now? I haven't taken a in 5 years. As soon as I found out that my wife and I were going to have a baby, I was excited to prove everyone wrong. There's no way that parenting is that hard. So I decided to document my first 30 days being a dad.
Oh, God. God. Olha lá, carinha dele.
How to sum up the past 30 days.
Ó, how to sum up. Vamos lá, ó. Já vou dar a dica aqui. Ele fala isso aqui, ó. How to sum up the past 30 days. Sum up é reduzir, é resumir, tá? Então, como é que fala resumir em inglês? Uma forma é sum up, tá? É literalmente como se estivesse falando assim, sum vem de somar, né? Então, como que eu posso somar tudo? Como que eu posso resumir tudo? The past 30 days, os últimos 30 dias. How to sum up the past 30 days. Vamos escutar de novo.
How to sum up the past 30 days. It's been a bit of a roller coaster.
Nossa, o Léo não ficava assim por nada.
I'll never forget the moment when I first heard Frankie cry. I just lost it. I just started crying. I just did not realize how much it would change me meeting my son for the first time. After having gone through such a challenging labor, seeing Nat pushed to her limit, seeing that Frankie was distressed at times, knowing that both of them were okay was just this immense amount of relief. And at the same time, there was this immense amount of respect and admiration for Nat and what she had done and what she had sacrificed to get us to that point. And then there was a moment when we were wheeling him to our room when I realized, holy shit, we have to take care of a baby now. The learning curve to becoming a parent is steep. It's basically vertical. We took every class you could imagine before having a baby. So this is Nat's infamous binder filled with all of the research from the past 9 months. Breastfeeding, parenting 101, CPR for kids, hypnobirthing. We got a doula, we read the books, we listened to the podcasts, and it was still hard as
The first week, unequivocally for us, was the worst part.
It was
The worst
so hard.
week of my life.
Yeah. Since there was just so much to learn, you're constantly Googling things. Is it normal that my baby only looks right? How much does a newborn sleep? Why does my son look like Wallace Shawn? Learning how to change a diaper, understand his cues, bathing, swaddling, and mastering breastfeeding, it was all very overwhelming, and it brought us to a breaking point. You have so many moments where you think, what did we just get ourselves into? Why was it so hard?
Why was it so hard? Well, for us specifically, it was hard, I think, for a number of factors. One, we were in the hospital for 6 days. Frankie here was losing weight, so we were really struggling to know how to feed him. That was just so stressful and scary. And then on top of that, I don't think we had the best midwife care. So we had a lot of guilt and shame through our experience. And then on top of that, we were just incredibly vulnerable. Like, we were brand new parents, not at home, but in a hospital sterile environment. And I feel like we lost our sense of intuition and confidence in ourselves, but it all changed really quickly as soon as we came home after 6 days.
So once we got home, we really started to get into a rhythm and things got a little bit, dare I say, easy. It was still hard, but nothing like those first few weeks for us. And now Frankie's crying in the background. Nat got more confident breastfeeding, Frankie started to gain weight. After a week, we were getting more than 3 hours of sleep a night. I know, it's rude to brag. And I've got to say that I got so good at diaper changes, I could do it blindfolded. He just shit on me, didn't he? As we were getting close to the 4-week mark, Nat and I had a conversation and decided that it was time for me to get back to work.
Do you want to do some editing with Dada? You don't? That's okay. I don't want to edit either! After unsuccessfully trying to wing it on day 1, we decided to set up a schedule and discuss responsibilities, wake-up times, getting ready, bottle feeds, bath time. When will I finish up work so Nat can have a break?
I really felt pulled in a million directions. I wanted to focus on my work. I wanted to prioritize my health. I wanted to spend as much time as I could with Frankie. And I didn't want to miss a second of any of it.
As I tried to find my footing as a dad, I made adjustments to make time for everything I could. I subscribed to a meal prep service, I cut my workouts down to 3 days a week, and I started running everywhere. To the gym, to the grocery store, to the coffee shop. In the midst of this literal sprint, I realized I needed to start letting go. And as complicated as my life was getting with a child, I needed to simplify my life now more than ever.
Truthfully, one of the reasons you haven't seen me on here as much is because I've been trying to shift my priorities and figure out how to move my business in a direction where I have more freedom. Really, as I look back over the past couple of years, a lot of the decisions that I've made have actually restricted my freedom. They've made it so I need to make more money, I need to have more staff, I need to have all these projects going at one time just to stay afloat. And more, I'm revisiting some of the core practices of minimalism. How can I create as simple of a life as possible where I can focus on those 2 to 3 things that are absolutely most important, non-negotiable? Because I'm realizing now, while I thought I was busy before, I truly am reaching a whole new level of being busy. I just know right now, these moments are so fleeting, and our time with Frankie, when he's this little, is gonna fly by. I've heard that from so many parents before, so I'm doing as much as I possibly can to be there for every single moment that I can, while also trying to get as much sleep as possible.
The past couple months have been difficult, and I know that I've talked quite a bit about the challenges. But honestly, as crazy as it's been, the lows don't even come close to the highs.
I love the wake-ups in the morning. I love when you finally get him up. When you take off his swaddle and he goes... It's like a newborn reflex where like their arms just like pop up and it looks like they're reaching out for you. It's just the best because you're like, Frankie! And it's like 7 a.m. or whatever, but you're just so stoked to see each other. It's so cute.
The first couple weeks, there were 2 moments where I was just like making eye contact with him and I just started crying. I just couldn't.
That's pathetic.
Yeah, I know. I'm such
Pull
a
yourself
loser.
together.
I know, yeah. It's been amazing. As difficult.
Awesome.
It's crazy how these can be the most difficult weeks of our life and the best at the same time.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. That's well said, and I can't really describe how that can be the case because it doesn't make sense that those 2 things can be true at once.
So my older brother Mark, who's a dad to 3, gave me some of the best advice early on. He actually texted me on Father's Day, and he said, when parenting is hard, it's usually a sign of good parenting. It's so easy to be a bad parent, to not care, to not research, to not worry. Doing those things is hard work. It's exhausting, but it's what makes great parents, and it's what makes great kids.
Hey, Baba.
Se esse conteúdo te ajudou, deixa o seu like. Se você não é inscrito no canal, se inscreva aqui no canal. Clica aqui embaixo. Não paga nada, é de graça. Assim você me ajuda bastante, tá bom? Vejo vocês no próximo vídeo. Um abraço.